Welcome guys. In this video we talk about the mosquito. Can mosquito spread the COVID-19 or not? So before that we talk about that viruses that can be transmitted by mosquitoes. Okay, and then we talk about the how the mosquito actually transmit or spread the virus. Then finally we talk about the COVID-19. So first of all we talk about this, then we talk about the second one, then we talk about the COVID-19. First of all we know what are that viruses which can be transmitted the mosquito. There are some viruses such as Zika virus. This virus transmitted by mosquito. West Nile virus. This virus also transmitted by mosquito. Dengue or yellow fever. There are so many viruses. There are so many viruses present which can be transmitted by mosquito. Okay, among them these are some viruses which can transmitted by mosquito, like Zika virus, West Nile virus, dengue or yellow fever. There are also another one that's called the chikungunya virus. So these viruses can transmitted by mosquito. There are also some other viruses which can be transmitted by a mosquito. So now we talk about how the actually mosquito transmitted the virus. So here I draw the diagram. This is the diagram of skin. This is the first layer which is called the epidermis, and this is called the dermis. This is the second layer of skin. Okay, so this is the first layer of skin that's called the epidermis, and the next one which is beneath the epidermis, that's called the dermis. So what happens is, this structure which I draw here, this is called proboscis. What happens is, when first of all, how the mosquito detects us. The mosquito detects by the help of carbon dioxide which we exhale. Then the mosquito comes in our homes and detected by the help of lactic acid, by the help of ammonia, by the help of sweat. Then the mosquito stays on this layer, epidermis layer, or lands on this, the first layer, lands on this first layer of the skin, which is called the epidermis. Then what happens is, the mosquito has a special structure that's called the proboscis. This special needle-like structure. By this needle, by the help of this needle, the mosquito sucks the blood. So this is the the first layer. When the mosquito stays on the first layer, the needle-like structure puts on down the first layer epidermis, then the dermis, because in this layer dermis, in the second layer of the skin, there are present the blood vessels. When the mosquito puts this needle down, simultaneously that time the mosquito releases the saliva. Okay, so the mosquito releases the saliva. The saliva the composition of saliva is anticoagulants, the anticoagulants help the mosquito. When actually what happens, when our blood contacts in air, it coagulates, but this anticoagulant help the mosquito, it does not coagulates, the blood does not coagulates. So this anticoagulant helps the mosquito in if the mosquito does not release the anticoagulant, so our blood can coagulate. Our blood coagulates actually when our blood contacts with the air, it immediately coagulates. But by the help of this chemical, it does not coagulate. Our blood does not coagulate. Okay, so when our blood doesn't coagulate, so then there are there are also some other chemicals like vasodilators, which these vasodilators keep our vessels wide. And the third one is anesthetics. By the help of this chemical, we do not feel or we do not know when the mosquito sucks the blood. Okay, so when the mosquito sucks the blood, okay, when the mosquito why the mosquito sucks the blood? Because there are two mosquitoes. There are the male mosquito, there are the female mosquito. Both the mosquitoes feed the plant juices, but the female mosquito feeds the blood meals, because the female mosquito produce their eggs. That's why the female mosquito feeds the blood meals. Then what happens when the mosquito feeds the blood? The blood goes his stomach, and the plasma part, the blood's plasma part is discarded, and there are present the blood cells, which is used for the producing for eggs. The plasma part of the blood is discarded. Now what happens actually now we take a look about this the virus. What happens when the host is present, when the host has virus? That condition is called the viremia. Okay, so suppose now the host here, what happens? Now the host has the virus. Okay, the mosquito sucks the blood. There are present the virus. Okay, there are suppose there are present the Zika virus, or there are present the West Nile virus. What happens when the virus, when this blood goes inside the gut, inside the this mosquito, inside the stomach? What happens there? The virus replicates there. Okay, so the virus replicates there. They make their 100 copies. Then when the mosquito goes to the after 4-5 days, when the second stage of when the mosquito has produced the second stage of eggs, they need the blood. Okay, after the second stage, after the first stage, then the mosquito goes and lands on the another skin or another person and sucks the blood. The mosquito releases their saliva. Okay, so in saliva there are present the virus. There are present the virus particles, which replicates before. So this virus, for example, the Zika virus, the West Nile virus, so the virus transmits into the next person. So this is the case. So this is how the mosquito actually spread or transmit the virus. Okay, so first the virus the mosquito goes and lands on the first skin, the first person which is not, which for example which is infected, and sucks the blood. There are present the virus, and after few days, after 4 or 5 days, the mosquito needs another meal of the blood for the producing second stage of the blood, second stage of the eggs. Then the mosquito goes and stays the next person on the next person's skin, or and sucks the blood and produces their saliva, or also produces the saliva. In saliva there are present the virus. So that's the process. The mosquito spread or mosquitoes transmitted the virus. Now we talk about can the mosquito transmit the COVID-19 or not. So according to the news, according to the research, there is no evidence, there is no evidence that the mosquito can spread this COVID-19. Actually, the COVID-19 spreads by the sneezing, by the coughing, when the droplets come out. Then here is the another person, the person inhales, or the person inhales that droplets, and that causes actually the COVID-19. But this COVID-19, according to the research, or according to there is still lacking, there is not there is not any evidence which can prove the mosquito can spread the COVID-19. So there is still lacking the evidences. So we cannot say that the mosquito can spread this COVID-19. So some of scientists said that the mosquito cannot spread this COVID-19 because this COVID-19 can spread by the coughing, by the sneezing. Okay, so I hope you understand this whole process, how actually the mosquito transmitted the virus, and can the COVID-19 spread, can the mosquito transmit the COVID-19 or not. I hope you like this video. Share this video, comment this video. Thank you.